This could be a long one, so for those of you who like the long streams. The title's pretty informative. Well, I need to explain it for the YouTube audience because the YouTube's not going to have that long, extensive title. For a while now, my online persona, the name I go by in video games and such, has been Minnow King. And that's because I am, career-made the king of minnows. Both online in YouTube and what I do in my actual job is entirely based around my knowledge of shiners, minnows, those kind of things. Those little fish that normal people don't care a lot about, but I know way too much about. But recently I went to Tennessee, and I learned something there, and that is that there are a lot more minnows in the world than I ever realized. Because as much as I thought my knowledge of shiners and minnows was very deep, when I was in Tennessee, I was seeing ones that I had never seen before. There were possibilities that I had never seen before. Reading through the guidebook, there was so much that I had never seen before. And that was just one state in the United States. So I thought, if I'm going to be the Minnow King, I need to truly earn my title. And so today, I am going to learn every single minnow in the world. Okay? And if at any point during this live stream someone subscribes, I will go back 5 minnows. If you're wondering how many they are, in total, we've got 460 species of minnow to go through. So every true minnow I'm going to go through, I'm going to learn about them, where they live, what their Latin name is, common name is. Yes, gifting subs counts. So the most common ones might take a little bit more or a little bit less time. So like creek chub being the most observed fish minnow in the world by a lot makes sense. And I know pretty much everything there is to know about creek chubs, but I'll get that. Is there a quiz at the end? Yes, I'm going to be doing some sort of taxic challenge at the end, and I have to get a certain percentage in order to. So if someone gives 5 subs, do you have to relearn 25? That's correct. I have to relearn 25. So I have to go back through the information, even if I feel like I already know it. But what I'll probably try to do is if I have to relearn 5, I'll go back to 5 that I don't remember. So I don't think I remember so well.
Poggers.
Thank you, R's Killing Pool. All right. Well, we're starting at -5. So I have to relearn 5 of the minnows before I ever even started. All right, let us begin learning every single minnow in the world. I think my requisites that I need to know the common name, I need to know the Latin name, and I need to know where the fish lives, right? And then obviously what it looks like, okay? So, start with the creek chub. I know a decent bit about creek chub already. Creek chub live in most of the United States. I think they're missing from the west. That's correct. Samodilus atramaculatus is the Latin name. Yep, they're pretty sporadic. They like to be in headwaters, but they can also be in small creeks as well. The chub. Now we're on the second fish, and this is already a fish I don't know. This is a European fish, I believe. This is like the most common. Yeah, look. So this is the most common fish in Europe. So I need to learn some things. This is the genus Squalius. Squalius cephalus. Cephalus means head. Oh, they do get quite pretty. They have some orange on the anal and pelvic fin and some black. Okay. They're reasonably pretty. They look kind of ugly in this picture, but that's good to know. These guys look golden shinery, which I guess makes sense because they're an old world minnow, and golden shiners are old world minnows. Squalius cephalus. Golden shiner. Golden shiner. Are all minnows small or are some quite large? Golden shiner is an example of a minnow that gets quite big. It's an old world minnow, so that makes sense. Golden shiners are everywhere in the United States. I'm not sure where they're actually native to. I guess I should learn that. But they have been put in everywhere because they're like the most common bait fish in the country. It's Notomogonus chrysoleucus. I know it's the only old world minnow that is in the United States. But it is native to the United States, so it's very weird. Like, it's an old world minnow. It's genetically closer related to all the minnows in Europe than it is to the minnows in America. And yet, it belongs here. All right, we got another new one. Rudd. Oh, Jesus. Scardinius erythrophthalmus. Ophthalmus is something with the eye. Something with the... I don't even... Okay. Scardinius erythrophthalmus. Jesus. Okay. And this one's all over Europe, and also it looks has been introduced to the United States a little bit. So it has been introduced in a few places. This is interesting. Look at this. There's Rudd found not that far from New Jersey. Alright, Scardinius Erophthalmus. That is a tough name. Common shiner, I know pretty well. I think it's mostly an East Coast to Midwest fish. Luxulus cornutus. Yep, East Coast to Midwest. Cool, doesn't go very far south because then it gets replaced by like striped shiner and such. I know that fish pretty well, I'm not concerned. Eastern black-nosed dace. I've got one in the tank right next to me. That's a very common fish. Actually, their range is just on the right side of the Appalachia, right? And then someone put a dot in Mexico. I'm willing to bet a lot of money that whoever observed this, no way. There's not an eastern black-nosed dace in Mexico. Guys, that's not neat. How did someone confirm this? No. I want to fix that later, but that is not an eastern black-nosed dace. Look at the range for half a second and think, does this make sense? God, I hate people who blindly identify stuff on INAT. Common roach. That has to be another European fish because I've never heard of it. Yep, European fish. All right, Rutulus. That's an easy one. Oh, it looks very golden shiner-like. It actually just looks like a golden shiner. Like, I don't know if I'd be able to tell the difference. I guess it's just a more silvery golden shiner. And it's just all over Europe. There's not much range to be aware of. Okay, blunt-nosed minnow. I know blunt-nosed minnow, Pimpiphalis notatus. Eastern U.S. to Midwest. They go into the South. In a lot of places, they're the most common minnow by far. And they've been introduced in a lot of places. They're invasive in a lot of places as well. Not concerned about blunt-nose. I'm really not concerned about fathead. Those are even more common where I'm at. They're a very common bait fish, so you'll notice how sporadic their range is. They don't get observed often, but they've observed absolutely everywhere. Pimpiphalis promolas. Central stone roller, Campostoma anomalum. Seen this one a good bit. Yeah, this one has a weird range. It kind of just avoids the south, but it goes through East Coast to Midwest, all the way down through Texas, and it's even in Mexico a bit. Campostoma anomalum. I know Campostoma, the genus. I need to remember anomalum for central stone roller, because there's also a large-scale stone roller. Western black-nosed dace. This is just the species on the other side of the Appalachia. Pretty easy range to remember. It's just on the left side of the mountains here. And it goes pretty far west, honestly, all the way through Nebraska. There's no way this is one, right? This is another thing. Like, if you post a fish and it's that far out of range, maybe think about it for a second and be like, hey, maybe that's not what that is. Bright shiner. That is the one that replaces common shiner through most of the Midwest. Yep. Cool. In some places they overlap. Luxulus chrysocephalus. That shiny head. It's an easy one. Fallfish, I know. Smodalus corporalis. Oh, I didn't realize fallfish were so restricted to the Northeast. That's good to know. Bleak. I have no idea what a bleak is. Okay. A bleak is a European minnow. You might have gotten gifted a sub, Lucifer Bug. That's interesting. This thing looks like an Eastern silvery minnow. Actually, no, I guess it looks like an Eastern silvery minnow combined with a golden shiner. And it is Alburnus alburnus. So white. Not what that means, white. Common bream. I believe that's another European minnow. Okay. Why are they all dead? Has anyone taken a picture of this fish alive? Dude, it's just another fat golden shiner. Why does every old world minnow look the same? I'm biasing myself probably because people think that every new world, every American minnow looks the same, and I don't, but okay. Brahmis Brahma. A Brahmis Brahma. European minnow. Foxinus. This is a very pretty one, the Danubian minnow. I don't know if my friend Mark ever posted his. Seems like he didn't, but he caught, from what I can tell, the prettiest Danubian minnow I've ever seen. It doesn't look like he ever posted on a naturalist, which sucks, because it was the prettiest one I'd ever seen. This one's reasonably pretty. But I'll remember this. Foxinus. This is one of the minnows I do want to catch at some point in my life. Definitely want to go on a European trip. Difference between Old World and New World. I'm a fish noob. Oh, it's not a fish-specific thing. Old World is like Europe, Asia, that area. The people who did the colonizing, basically. And then they called it the New World when they discovered the Americas. And they went to go colonize the Americas. So Old World minnows are like European, Asian, that kind of thing. And New World minnows are America. But those terms exist way outside of fish. They called America the New World and so forth. Long-nosed dace. I believe this has the largest range of any minnow. Long-nosed dace. Yeah, because it goes all the way up into northern Canada as well. Their minnow you strongly dislike. Not really. Even the minnows I don't really like creek chub, I kind of have a soft spot for all minnows. I think I need to talk a little bit less and a little bit less excitedly because I'm realizing I'm 17 minnows in out of 400 and I'm probably going to get set back multiple times. So I need to have a voice left to go at the end of this. Alright, long-nosed dace. Phrynicthes cataracti. I know that one. Western blacktail shiner. I just caught that one for the first time. Recently. That's Cyprinella venusta. That has a pretty wide range, right? Yeah, well, I guess not. It's mostly just the south. Yeah, I caught it. You'd probably find mine, honestly. There it is. There's my Western blacktail shiner from a few days ago. Red shiner, Cyprinella lutrensis. I don't remember this one too much. But when I was in Kansas City, this one was everywhere. Oh, really? This one makes it all the way out to California and down to central Mexico. And it's in North Carolina? Holy. What a range on this guy. This guy spans most of the United States. They get very pretty. My red shiner was quite pretty. Spot fin shiner. We have that one in New Jersey. Cyprinella spilatera. Looks exactly like a satin fin, but it's the more common one outside of New Jersey. Satin fin shiner is more specific to New Jersey. Cavedano chub. Okay, well, it's the genus Squaleus. Let me test myself. What was in the genus Squaleus? Was it, it wasn't dace, was it? Was it dace? I think it was the European minnow called dace. Oh, it's chub. God, the stupid names. Chub. Okay. So this is another chub. But this one, oh, wow, this one's kind of trapped by the mountain range here. It's like only on this side of the mountain range in Europe. That's quite cool. And it is Squaleus squalus. Gets decently large. Looks like a fall fish. River chub, Nokomis micropogon. Fair enough. I know river chub pretty well. They get quite pretty. They build big piles of rocks for fun. Rosy side dace, I know pretty well. Clinostomus fungiloides. They're like one of the most common things to catch in the areas where they're at. They're very abundant. I remember one time when I first got my car, the first thing I ever did with my car was drive down here, somewhere in here, to catch a rosy side minnow for the first time. Spot tail. I'm surprised spot tail is this far down. In New Jersey, spot tail would be like number 1. Tropus hudsonius, named after the Hudson River, which it is not even really that much in, but spot tails do have a pretty damn big range. They're definitely a more northern cold water fish. Northern red-bellied dace. Somus oas. This is a more northern species. I'm going to guess 100% that this is not correct. Okay. Well, the location on that can't be correct unless there's for some reason a population of northern red-bellied dace in southern Oklahoma. They have a pretty nice range as well. They're all in that southern Canada area. I think I caught mine. Yeah, I caught one of these is mine, I think. This little pond in upstate New York. Yeah, there's my red-bellied dace. Horny head chub. And blue head chub. All right, let's learn them back to back. Nokomis bigutatus. Nokomis leptocephalus. Horny head chub is like Midwest pretty much, but not too far in either direction. It's sort of like a triangle around the Great Lakes. I guess I call it a Great Lakes fish. And blue head chub, oh, they don't overlap at all. Blue head chub is just an all around the southern east coast, I guess. Bigutatus and leptocephalus. Emerald shiner, Notropus atherinoides. Emerald shiner are very, very large range. I feel like this is a fish that's going to get split. Like the Mississippi Basin, sure, but a lot of these populations up here are not connected. This is a fish that I feel like will get split into multiple species at some point. But I know Notropus atherinoides, named after it looking like a silverside. Northern pike minnow. Whoops. This is a fairly common one that I've never seen personally. I think they're a western fish. Oh, wow. Oh, this is a very observed fish for being all the way up here. It's only in Washington and like a little bit of British Columbia. That's a messed up name, but I guess Oregonensis isn't that hard to remember considering it's in Oregon mostly. Paichochelys oregonensis. Sand shiner, it's a common Notropus. I've had to distinguish this one before. Identical to a mimic shiner, basically. Weird range, though, Midwest to South. Well, Midwest to Texas, I guess. Red side shiner, this is a western one. Richardsonius balteatus. Yeah, balteatus. I like Lahontan red side better, but red side shiner's cool. That's a common one if you live in NorCal. It's an easy one to go get. They're just right outside of California there. Southern red-bellied dace. I caught that for the first time the other day. In fact, if we go to the listing here, There's mine, southern red-bellied dace. Mostly the Midwest. But I guess, yeah, into Tennessee as well, because that's where I caught mine. Speckled dace. This one recently got split into a bunch of different species. But I guess speckled dace are the more wide-ranged one. They're all around sort of the west coast. But now the ones in California are all different species. So it's kind of funny because of the mountain ranges in California. Rhinichthys osculus. Yeah, I actually, when you collect fish, not like collect, but try to catch different species, we do a thing where you try to complete a genus. So like you try to catch every fish that's in a certain genus. And I was one away, two away, speckled dace and umpqua dace, which are in the same place in Oregon, and I would have been totally done. Unfortunately, they then split it into like 5 different species. So now I'm missing a lot, and I would have to explore the mountains of California. All right, silver bream. This is different than common bream, I guess. It's a different genus. Blica bjorkna. Wait, might be my favorite Latin name I've ever seen. Blica bjorkna. It goes quite a bit into Russia. Interesting. It has a very wide range. It hates Spain, though. It does not speak Spanish, but it has quite a wide range. It really goes all the way into Iran. Bullhead minnow, that's the other Pimiphalis. That's mostly just sort of like a diagonal from the Great Lakes to southern Texas. Good to know. Italian riffle dace. I have never heard of this. Telestes multicellus. Well, it's exactly as described. Oh, wait, no way. It's in Africa? What? Is that real? It crossed... Well, I don't think it crossed the sea, but I guess it was there when those were connected by land somehow. So it pretty much is restricted to this area in here, and then maybe North Africa if this one's real. If we're to believe that. Sacramento pike minnow. Makes sense. It's a pike minnow mostly based around Sacramento. It's the Phytochylis thing again, but grandis. Large-scale stone roller. There's the other one. Oligolepis. I was trying to remember the Latin for this. Ampistoma oligolepis. And it is very much based around this area in Tennessee, a little bit of Missouri, and then for some reason it's up in Wisconsin. Is that real? Okay. For some reason it's up in Minnesota, Wisconsin as well. War paint shiner. I caught that one tons in Tennessee. Those are pretty. Yep. They're like pretty much restricted to these mountains in Tennessee, but they're very common. Orf. The fuck is an orf? Leucissus itis. This thing's like basically named after being an old world minnow. Holy range. No way. It's in China and Bhutan. What are people doing, man? Orf is a fish. This is a butterfly. What are you doing? This is also a plant. Okay, never mind. They're not in Bhutan, in China. They're just people posting them where they shouldn't be. They are in Kazakhstan, though, which is cool, or Kazakhstan, which is cool. Hey, swallowtail shiner. That's a pretty common one across the East Coast. Yep, where they're at, they're fairly common. And they look like all of the cool shiners, so they make everybody feel like you've caught a cool shiner, but in fact, you have not caught a cool shiner. Rosy face. There's the second of the comely complex, as I'll call it. Northeast, except somehow we miss it in New Jersey. It comes close to New Jersey in 2 different places. It comes close to North Jersey and South Jersey separately, but we do not have rosy face. But that's rubellus, Neutropus rubellus. All the comely things will probably end up being their own genus at some point. Mimic shiner, there's the other guy. Cool. They're pretty widespread. They're an invasive too. Well, they've been introduced as like a... Not really an invasive. I guess you could call it just like a bait fish introduction. But supposedly the government in New Jersey thinks there might be some here. Northern pearl dace. This is one I really wanted to catch, but it's pretty hard to do in America. You'll notice the only record of them in America is here. Every other oh wait, there's some in Wisconsin, Minnesota, but where I was in upstate New York, and there's one record of them. But then the thing is, they're really common in these like little lake things. Like look how common they are in these little lakes in southern Canada. If I had gone to Canada, I would have definitely got one. But that's that's named after the dude, right? Yeah, Noctriebe. Lake Chub. This is another one I wanted to target while I was in upstate New York, but I was over here and they're over there. Yeah, they're a very Canadian fish. Coistus plumbeus. Fine scale dace. It's another one I wanted to target while I was there. There's a few observations nearish the border, but they're all in these lakes. Man, I could get so many species if I just like went over the border right here and fished some of these random lakes. Like the amount of random dace and stuff that are in there. Chrysomus neogaius. Leucistus aspis. Okay, so this is related to the Leucissus-itis, which was called Leucissus-itis. I don't remember what it was called, man. Orf. That's right, it was the stupid one. Orf. An asper way all over the place. Probably common in Russia as well. There's just not that many people on iNaturalist in Russia. Can't wait till I go and fix that. Sunbleak. Hey, this one's kind of cool. Leucospius delineatus. Ooh, and it's common all over, too. Man, when I do my year, maybe I shouldn't go to Hungary. Maybe I should go to, like, Germany or something like this, because I feel like most of the European minnows have overlapped, have been in this area. Sunbleak is cool. I want to take a good picture of this minnow. This might be my favorite European minnow so far. It's got such an odd face shape. Its face is shaped like a killifish, but then it's on the body of like a golden shiner. Dace. There we are. Great naming. Good job, Europe. Thank you for the dace. Is also just everywhere in Europe and probably Russia. And that is Leucissus leucissus. So we've now learned 3 leucissus. Aryl loach. That is Rutulus lacustris. We learned Rutulus rutulus, which was common roach, I believe. Oh, this guy's interesting. He's basically a Russian loach, or roach. He's not really, I mean, maybe a little bit in Kazakhstan, and he might reach into Georgia and a little bit into Ukraine, but for the most part, this is a Russia-exclusive roach. That's cool. Whitetail shiner. I caught one of those for the first time the other day. Yeah, they have an odd range through Tennessee, and then through Arkansas as well. Cyprinella galactura. I don't think I ever looked at the Latin name. Galactura. Tennessee shiner. That's a very pretty one. Atropus luceotis. Mostly in Tennessee, unsurprisingly, but gets outside of Tennessee a little bit. Satinfin shiner. We have that in New Jersey. I know that one pretty well. I don't think I really need to study very well. Cyprinella nalistana. It's just an East Coast type of satinfin. Bleeding shiner. This was my favorite shiner for a while. It's so pretty. Luxulus zonatus. It's colors. I just love black and white. Black and white is so rare on a fish, especially on a minnow. And those are like my favorite colors, are black and white. Honestly, my favorite colors are black, white, gold, and pink. Like, those are my top 4 colors. And look at this. Black, white, gold, and pink. So, like, there's a reason this was my favorite fish for a while. Redfin shiner. This one, is this one? Yeah, this was one we were maybe going to catch, but we didn't end up catching. Oh, no, I'm wrong. This is way out of range. Oh, well, no, we could have caught it up here. We went up to Murray. Basically just crossed the Midwest, and this is Lythrurus. I still don't have it. I haven't decided how I want to pronounce that. Lythrurus. I think Lythrurus works. Lythrurus umbratilus. California roach. That's cool. Wait, there's a roach in California? This is not related, I assume, to the roaches in Europe. Other than that, it's a minnow. Looks kind of creek chubby. Hesperilucus symmetricus. Okay. Weed shiner. I think I have that one from Florida. Yeah, I believe I got that one here in Gainesville in Florida. Weed shiner. Tropus texanus. The Tropus boops! I tried for this one, but I didn't get it, I don't think, while I was in... Oh, I did get it while I was in... No, I don't think this might be it. I don't know. While I was in Tennessee. Tropus boops. Got a fun area around there. Telescope shiner. Looks like a big eye shiner, but I think doesn't have black or something. This is a weird range. It's just like a belt from Missouri to Virginia. Interesting. Atropus telescopus. That's easy enough to remember. Yellowfin shiner. I've got that one plenty in Tennessee, in the mountains there. Longfin dace. Here's one I barely know exists. Yeah, this is a cool one. This is like a deserty Arizona area. Like deserty mountains this guy exists. There's like no good pictures of one either. Like, look at all these pictures. I could take the best picture of this thing by far. Pretty easily. Just putting it in one of my photo tanks. This is probably the best picture. It's not bad. It's quite cool. It's a cool fish. Agosia chrysogas. There's a genus I've never heard of. Alright, brassy minnow. This is the Midwest's version of the eastern silvery minnow, I think. Oh, never mind. It's not Midwest at all. It's like a weird northern sporadic range. Pretty blackfish with the red and gold. Bleeding shiner. How many minnows am I in right now? Let's see. 2, 7. Well, let me count. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. I'm 62 in. So I have about 400 to go. All right. Cutlet minnow. We have that New Jersey Exoglossum maxilingua. Yep, that's just a very northeast fish because there's tongue-tied minnow as well. Takes up some of its range. Mountain red belly dace. That's a very pretty one. I caught one of those in North Carolina, I believe. Yeah, I caught one in North Carolina along this mountain range. They're very pretty. That is Orias, Chrysomis Orias. Ozark minnow, I've caught that. That is the only other minnow other than the Cape Fear Shiner. The only other Notropus that has a coiled black gut, because it is the only other Notropus that feeds on, I think, primarily vegetation rather than on insects. And this is Notropus nubilis. Yes, I'm doing common name, Latin name. I'm learning what they look like, and I'm learning where they live. Peamouth. That's a terrible name. North Oregon / South British Columbia thing. There was another, what other fish was restricted to that area? It was that northern pike minnow, I believe. Oregonensis. Mylochilus corinus. This is a new genus for me, Mylochilus. Big mouth shiner. Notropus dorsalis. Is there anything special about its dorsal fin that would help me remember it? No, not really. It's just a very humpy shiner. Like, this is a weird Notropus. Why does it have such a large hump? Oh, that's why it's called dorsalis, because the top side is so humpy. Okay, I can remember that. White shiner, Luxulus alveolus. Looks exactly like a common shiner, but I'm guessing it doesn't overlap. Oh, it does overlap. Carmine shiner, Notropus percobromus. I caught this at some point. Where did I catch this? Missouri, right? They're common around Kansas City, actually. Look at that. They're literally right in Kansas City. Silver jar minnow. This is one I wanted to catch, but where I was, it was in Maryland, and Maryland has laws against dip netting unless you're a Maryland native. So if you're not born in the state of Maryland, you're not allowed to dip net there. It's a little ridiculous. So I never got silver jaw minnow, but that's okay. I can get it in the Midwest as well. I feel like you're doing pretty good on time. Not bad, but keep in mind I can also be set back by subs at anyone's whim. What the fuck is a ruivico? Ruivico. I've never heard of this. Achondrostoma oligolepis. Hey, oligolepis is the specific epithet of the large-scale stone roller. Oh, it's a Portuguese shiner? That's pretty cool. A shiner that's endemic to Portugal is quite cool. It looks like a fathead minnow. I don't know how else to really put it. It just looks like a fathead minnow with red fins. And it's not endemic to Portugal. Rip, this guy ruined it. He's in Spain. Coastal roach. Now, is this an American roach or a European roach? It looks like an American one. Yeah. Asperolucus venustus. Oh, look at this, all through San Francisco, San Jose, Sacramento. If you live in any of like the most populated areas in California, you can find yourself a coastal roach. Steel color shiner. I think this is like a common one in a lot of areas I've been to. Yeah. All the way through, look, it's common in St. Louis, in Arkansas, I was there.
Does this count as a sub to make you relearn minnows XD?
Indeed it does, Mothman. Let me go back and study 5 minnows that I don't remember too well. I will study big mouth. I will study yellowfin. I'll study asp. I'll study orf. And I'll study silver bream. This is what your sub has done. Whoops. Alright. Steel color, I already got steel color. Upper north, Notropus dorsalis. It has the hump. Notropus lutipinus. It's below the Tennessee mountains in Georgia and then a little bit into South Carolina. Asp is through most of Europe, but it's not really a fan of deserty conditions, so it doesn't make its way down into Spain. And this is Leucissus aspius. It's in the Leucissus genus. Orf is also Leucissus itis, and this is more of a northern Europe type of fish. It doesn't make its way down into Italy or South France really at all. And then silver bream is a pretty widespread fish, but also doesn't really like Spain. Spain's desert seems to not attract a lot of fish, which is cool. All right, where was I? Scarlet shiner. I have scarlet shiner. Oh yeah, look at these. 3 of these observations are mine, and then the other 2 are the guy that I was with. Recently observed scarlet shiner that's Lythruris fasciatus. Oh no, fasciolaris. Fasciolaris. That's a pretty small range. I didn't realize scarlet shiner was that limited. Black chin shiner. That's one of my favorite minnows. I believe did I catch black chin? No, I caught black nose, I think. Yeah, I didn't catch black chin. That's a cool Notropus though. Atropus heterodon, same mouth, same teeth, same jaw. Hardhead? What the hell is a hardhead? Myloferodon conocephalus. Is this an American minnow? What is this? It looks like, I guess it kind of looks like a P-mouth. This looks like a P-mouth, but P-mouth wasn't Myloferodon, was it? Oh, this is a cool looking fish. I like this one. It looks like a cobia, like a freshwater cobia. Actually, that's exactly what it looks like. Holy shit, look, it's a freshwater cobia. Schneider albernoides bipunctatus. That's a cool one. Schneider. Oh, cool. This is a European one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. I should go to, like, South Germany. That seems to be the best place. And then if I want some unique minnows, I can take a cab through the mountains or something. Catch some minnows over here in Italy as well. Schneider, albernoides bipunctatus. The Balkan italic minnow. That sounds cool. Yeah, see, this is what I mean. This would be a cool one to catch in the mountains. Man, Europeans really need better photos of their minnows. I want to go to Europe and take, like, the best photos of all these minnows. They just don't have very good ones. Fox. Oh, this is another Foxinus. It's a Foxinus, but on the other side of the mountains. Okay. Foxinus lumiral. Bull chub. Finally, an American minnow. Jeez. Nokomis rainei. I don't have bull chub, I don't think. Oh, no, I did catch bull chub because it's very common around Durham. Yeah, North Carolina. Yeah, in Eno River I caught it. It's like the most common fish in the Eno River. Cardinal shiner. Luxulus cardinalis. I don't believe I caught one of them. Yeah, they have a pretty... Oh, I went to this range because I was down here in South Missouri, like the Arkansas border. But Luxulus cardinalis, that's easy enough. Cardinal shiner, cardinalis. Alabama shiner, I caught one of those the other day. Yep, most recent observation of Alabama shiner is me. Look at how beautiful and precious he is. Oh, I love the Alabama shiner. I wish the tail was in focus. My camera, I think I had it in microscopic mode rather than macroscopic mode. They have a pretty limited range to a few drainages in Alabama. That's Callistia, Supernella Callistia. Coastal shiner, that's Petersoni. I got that one in Florida, in Gainesville. They're up in North Carolina as well. They're just like a very weedy, marshy type of shiner. Highland stone roller. I think this is a stone roller I don't have. Spadicium. Ampistoma spadicium. Yeah, I've never been there, so I would not have this shiner. I've never been to central Arkansas or Oklahoma. It's a cool stone roller. Seems to get reasonably pretty. Tail light shiner I also caught, I believe, in Gainesville. It's a cute little Natropus that gets quite pretty. Has a decently long range. I actually didn't realize how big its range was. Tropus maculatus. Suckermouth minnow. I caught that for the first time last week. Where is it? There's my suckermouth minnow. Phenacobius. My first ever Phenacobius. He is so beautiful. I love Phenacobius, but I had never caught one before. Even though, look, they're even... Like, there are Phenacobius that are reasonably common around Kansas City, where I literally lived for 2 months, and yet I never caught one. Oh well. Alberella. Now, this is an Alburnus. Alburnus is a European genus. We saw Alburnus albus, which was the... Alburnus albus was the... I don't remember what it was. But this one is specific to Italy, basically, to below these mountains. What are these mountains called? I always forget what these mountains are called. I keep wanting to say Appalachians, but that's in America. What are the mountains in North Italy called in Europe? The Alps. That's why, because I want to say Appalachian, but it's just the other way around. It's ALP instead of APAL. Red side dace. I got that one in northern New York. Oh no, I didn't? When did I get red side dace? Oh yeah, up here, northern New York. Yeah. This is Clinostomus elongatus. Iron color shiner. Hey look, this is my picture. I took this picture. There are 106 observations. How many of them are me? 28 of the 106 are me. So over a fourth of the observations of this shiner are me, between North and South Jersey. I love iron color shiners. They're like in my top 2 favorite fish. Hey look, these are all my pictures. All of these pictures. These are all my pictures. Literally, I just scrolled through an area of like a month where it was just me posting a shitload of iron color shiners. Round-tailed chub. Gila. Gila was like a deserty North American species, I believe. Yep. South Arizona. It's also up in Colorado. That's interesting. Gila robusta. That makes sense. It's a round-tailed chub. It's robusta. Big-eye chub. I love Hybopsis. Hybopsis is like my favorite minnow genus. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's one of them. I love how cute Hybopsis are. They're just like long with a big eye. Italian Rudd. So this is the Scardinius, I assume, on the other side of the Alps. Correct. Wow, that's interesting. The Alps, I mean, I guess it makes sense. It's a large mountain range. It separates a lot of fish because probably all the sources are going different directions at the top of the mountain. So a lot of these genera in Europe have like an Italian version of the fish and then have like a Northern Europe version of the fish, which is good to know. If I do go to Europe, it's like I should probably go like here, like South Germany, because there's a lot of species there, and then take a cab or something over the border. And then there's a lot of different species here in Northern Italy. Common naze. Chondrostoma nassus. It's got to be European, right? Yep. And look, this one's restricted to the other side of the Alps. It's sort of just a longer golden shiner. I'm calling every European minnow just an X golden shiner, but like, I've never been to Europe, so that's the only shiner that I know, the only old world minnow that I can compare to, really. Chondrostoma nassus. That makes sense. Naze nassus. Natropus heterolepis. This one I caught, I believe. Yeah. One of the most recent observations is me. In upstate New York. It's a cool one. I love all Natropus. Pugnose minnow. Oh, Pugnose minnow's its own genus? Opsipoidus emilii? That's cool. Pugnose minnow. Cool. I did not know this was its own genus. Wow. There are a lot of observations in this random spot in southern Illinois. But then it's also a southern fish. That's interesting. Weird range, and it's an interesting genus. I'm actually curious if there are any other fish in the genus, but I guess we'll find out. Are you planning on visiting some European countries? Yeah, I want to do a Europe trip. And this is actually helping me a lot because it's seeming like the play, if I do a Europe trip, will be to go to like South Germany or something, get a bunch of fish there, cross over the mountains, get a bunch of fish there. It seems like the most efficient way to get a bunch of European species. Dusky striped shiner, Luxulus pillsbury. I believe I have this one. Once upon a time I got this one. I don't remember where. Oh, probably South Missouri. There aren't really very many good photos of it. It's a very pretty one. The fact that this is the best photo in this tiny carrying tank sucks. Luxulus pillsbury. There was another pillsbury. I don't remember what genus it was, though. Bridal shiner. Let's go. You thought the iron color shiner was bad in terms of observations? Look at this. There's 83 observations of bridal shiner. 50 of them are me. Natropus bifurnatus. I don't think I need to study bridal shiner. Call me egotistical, but, you know, it's literally tattooed on my arm. I think I'm okay. Red spot chub, Nokomis asper. I believe I got that one for the first time the other day. Oh, I did not get red spot chub. We tried to get red spot chub. Or no, we didn't try red spot chub. We talked about how I didn't have red spot chub. Are Danios a minnow? We'll find out. I don't know if Danios are in the Leucicidae and the true minnows. They might be a fake minnow, but we'll find out. Arroyo chub, Gila or Cootie. All right, that is a Southern California, Los Angeles area. Wow, interesting. So if you live in Los Angeles and you want to catch fish, you would think, oh, there's nothing alive in these ecosystems, but hey, seems like there's a good amount of arroyo chubs. You could take a pretty good picture of one of those. Texas shiner, Natropus amabilis. I'm gonna guess it's in Texas and then in Mexico a little bit. Makes sense. Tricolor shiner, there's a very pretty one. This is one of the prettiest minnows I've ever caught. I have to find it. So this is one I caught the other day, but less pretty. This guy was the crazy one. Look at this. It literally looks like there was an oil spill on his fin. Literally looks like there was an oil spill on his fin. That's how crazy the rainbow coloration is on this guy. They get so pretty. I love tricolors. Oh, rainbow shiner. Okay. That's a very pretty one. When rainbow shiners get colored up, it's very pretty. Why everyone who catches a pretty one doesn't take a very good picture? But yeah, no, rainbow shiners get crazy. Like, look at this. It's crazy. They're just like ridiculous. Look at this. And they're in like a shallow stream puddle. So you're in like a shallow stream and look in the water. It's just filled with a bunch of crazy red things. Lahontan red side. This is the Richardsonius that I like. Richardsonius egregious. There's not very good pictures of this one, but I think it's a really pretty fish. I like Lahontan red side. I think they're more of what, a northern? Oh no, they're outside of California, on the other side of the mountains. That's what it is, whatever this mountain range is. Red lip shiner. Tropus chilaticus. Where is this one? North Carolina. Did I catch this one? I feel like I caught this one when I was in North Carolina. I went through a lot of these areas, so I would imagine I did. There's no way this is a Notropis, by the way. Whenever the splits happen, this will not end up in Notropis. This does not look like a Notropis at all. I wonder how many of these fish I've been next to without knowing. A lot. That is the amazing thing about it. If every person in America went to their local stream right now and dip netted it for like 45 minutes, we would probably document almost every species in the country. We would improve data by so much. I mean, I know this is a ridiculous and unrealistic thing, but Macrohybopsis, our first Macrohybopsis. I don't know if it's the only Macrohybopsis. I don't know much about this, but Silver Chub, it's just an ugly little own genus thing. This guy has an interesting range.
Poggers.
Hype Minnow Party.
Alrighty, well, thank you, little elf. I now have to relearn 5 minnows. What minnows do I want to relearn? Let's relearn Texas Shiner. Alright, Streamline Chub. The pretty one. I do like Eremistax as a genus. This is Eremistax dissimilis. This one's not that terribly far. If I do a trip to like Pittsburgh, this is one of the ones I would target there in western Pennsylvania. That and trout perch. Languedoc minnow. Oh, we've got another fox in this. Okay. Oh, this one has a pretty restricted range. Look at this. It's just between the Alps here that separate France and Italy, and then Spain here in Andorra. This is a cool one. Languedoc, another foxinus. So there's 3 species of foxinus we've come into contact with so far in Europe. It's pretty cool. Europe does have some minnow diversity. It's not the best, especially if you're in like the UK, but most of Europe has a decent amount of... the problem is they all look the same, but that can make it fun, I think. Crescent Shiner, I believe I have that one. Yeah, I got that one in North Carolina. They're like a very common Luxulus in there. There's a lot of Luxulus in this area as well, though. Crescent Shiner. Luxulus saracena. Topeka Shiner. This is the one that I don't believe should be a Notropis. It's a very weird looking one. I don't know why it's a Notropis. Look at it. Look at how thick it is. This, like, probably should be its own genus. I've never seen anything that looks like this thing. Very odd. Notropis topeka. Very cool, unique Shiner, but nothing looks like it. Ribbon Shiner. Wow. The best picture for this one is terrible. Another one of the Lythururus. Yeah, so they need better pictures of this one. Wow, this guy took a really good picture of the face. Did he take a good picture of the fish in general? Why is this not the photo? This should be the photo. Why is the photo so... Okay, whatever. Calendino. This is a Squalius. This is a European. This is our 3rd Squalius we've run into. Calendino. This is a Portuguese/Spanish one. Seems like there's some interesting, unique fish, minnows in like Spain to Portugal area. So if I really wanted to like span Europe, I think I would do like South Germany and then North Italy, and then I guess like the Portugal-Spain border. Seems to be the most diverse sets of minnows so far. Saffron Shiner. I got this one in Tennessee, I believe. Yeah, they get quite pretty. Look at this for a Notropis. Notropis rubricroecius. That's a weird name. I did not remember that one. Rubricroecius. Chinese minnow. There's a Chinese minnow? That's cool. Then China? Oh my god, there's minnows in South Korea. There's minnows in North Korea. I mean, it's not documented because they're not allowed to use iNaturalist probably, but there's Chinese and South Korean minnow. That's cool. Wow, this minnow's probably... think about how long these 2 minnows have been distant from each other. Rhynchocypris. North Italian roach. Okay. Wasn't there already an Italian roach? Oh, this is a different genus. This is Leucos, not Leucissus. Why do I assume that their naming system means anything? No fish naming system means anything. Leucos aula. Silver Shiner. Silver Shiner is just a, like, rust belt thing, I guess. Notropis photogenis. It's not very photogenic, but I guess if you say so. It's just kind of long. This looks like it's one of the comelies. I've never seen this one in Silver Shiner. It looks like it's one of the comelies rosy faces. Metallic Shiner. I have this one. I took a pretty decent picture of this one. There it is. Metallic Shiner. Unfortunately, there was some fog on the glass, and this is with my old photo tank, but I guess a decent photo. They're quite pretty. Pteronotropis metallicus. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Whatever 23 times 5 is. 115? We're 115 down. 350-ish to go. What is a Sufia? Telistes. That's a European genus. I know that much. That's an interesting one. See, that's what I mean, man. I gotta go to southern Germany. This area here has all the cool minnows. Telistes Sufia. It's unfortunate that, like, the minnows in Europe seem to have, like, no coloration for the most part. So you kind of have to go by, like, relative sizes of different body parts. Band fin shiner. I think this is one I got the other day. Oh no, it was one we tried for but didn't end up getting. It's just a Luxulus that has, like, yeah, weird band here. Luxulus zonistius, not to be confused with Luxulus zonatus, the bleeding shiner. Rough shiner. Tropus phylliae. Did I get this one? No, I did not. This one's in Alabama. Didn't get it, I guess. Oh, it's just a very tall Natropus. Interesting. Rovelia. That's a new genus. Starmar rutilis. Well, rutilis was a European genus, so I'm going to assume this is a European minnow. Oh, it's an Italian, basically exclusive. It's not even in northern Italy. Interesting, it's on this side of the second mountain range. Is this just a separation of the Alps, or is it a separate mountain range? I don't know. Northern Iberian chub. That's another Portugal one. That's another reason to go to Portugal. Wow, that just looks like every other one I've seen. I'm gonna need some serious studying to tell the difference between some of the European dace here and chubs. They're a bit tough. Sandbar shiner, that's a cool one. I have a bunch of those. It just looks like a telescope shiner, but it's not in the range, I think. Other than, like, a weird area where they overlap. Detropus skepticus. Yeah, I got that one in North Carolina. Desert speckled dace. So here's one of the splits of the speckled dace. Had I done this challenge 6 months ago, maybe a little more than 6 months ago, this species would not have existed. The species was just described. Lahontan speckled dace. Sailfin shiner. Pteronotropus hypsiloteris. That is, yeah, that's a panhandle. Eastern silvery minnow. Woo! That's my friend's picture. I love eastern silvery minnow. The most odd and cryptic fish in the world. There's my eastern silvery minnow picture. Yay. Terrible picture. I want to take better pictures of them at some point. They're a tough fish to photograph because they just have no distinguishing features, and they live in murky water, which I guess if I brought water with me, it's a pain. Twee chub. Siphotelus bicolor. Oh, interesting. It's a Californian mountain one. There's a subspecies, Fish Lake Valley Twee chub, Siphotelus bicolor, subspecies 4. Jesus. I feel like I'm playing a video game. What a name. Rosefin shiner is another Lythurus ardens. And it's mostly just in Virginia and North Carolina. Good to know. I don't know if I got it. I might have gotten it when I was there. Zeeg. This has to be a European minnow. Helicus cultratus. Yep. Oh, it's a mostly Russian one. That's cool. And it looks like nothing I've ever seen before. I have no idea. I guess like a long... Oh, it kind of looks like a bluefish, I guess. Like an upturned bluefish. Dixie chub. Simodalus thorianius. This is just, it looks like all the others. I think it has, what, a slightly more diffuse black line, and it's in the Dixie area, Alabama, Atlanta, so forth. River shiner, Natropus plenius. One that I will have trouble catching because it's basically only in large rivers from what I remember. Whitefin shiner. I believe I have that one from North Carolina. Yep, Cyprinella nivea. Fiery black shiner. That's a cool one. Did I catch this one? I think I caught this one by accident when I was in North Carolina. Am I wrong? I guess I'm wrong. Man, a lot of these fish I thought I remembered catching, but I hadn't. If only this person had a... Oh my god, if you had a slightly better photo tank, that's probably like the prettiest fiery black shiner in existence. But your photo tank just kind of sucks. If only you had ordered an AVNJ photo tank. Alright, long-nosed shiner. I've never heard of a long-nosed shiner. Tropus longiorostris. Well, that's a fairly straightforward name. Long nose. Interesting. Just like a weird belt around, almost coastal here. Lake minnow. Rhynchocyprus. Rhynchocyprus was a European one, right? Yeah. Oh, wow. Wow. Damn, look at that diversity. Oh, yeah, Rhynchocyprus was the Chinese minnow. Oh, this is cool. This one's in Japan. And all throughout Russia. Probably in other Asian countries as well. They just don't get as good documentation on iNaturalist of fish. White eye bream. It's a new genus. Balarus sapa. Mostly Russia. but through Eastern Europe as well. White-eyed bream, valorous. Hey, that one looks fairly unique. That might be the most unique looking one I've seen. It looks like some of the Malaysian minnows I caught. Flathead chub. That's an American one. I think it's a deserty one. Platyogobio. Platygobio. Oh, it's not a desert one. What a weird range. That's right. This is the only unique fish, I think, in Wyoming and Montana. If you go to Wyoming and Montana, they have, like, no interesting fish. It's all just, like, the game fish that every other state has stocked, you know, extensively, other than flathead chub, which you can, like, only get, or most commonly get in that area. Platygobio gracilis. Bimba bream. Ooh, what's wrong with its face? Wait, do they all have that on the face? Kind of. A little bump on the lip. That's cool. Look at his bump on his face. That's so cute. Interesting. It's a weird range. Something tells me this is a data lack rather than it actually not being in Ukraine or Belarus. Hitch. Lavinia exilicauda. They really do love their short... Oh, wait. This is a European minnow. Or it's an American minnow. I was going to say this is a European one. Lavinia. I have never heard of the genus Lavinia. What the hell is a Pajarosalinus hitch? That is a very isolated fish. That's cool. There's some interesting subspecies over in California. Black spots shiner, Tropus atrocodalis. Blue chub. Another desert one, I assume. Gila corulia. Oh wow, that's a pretty limited one. It's basically only in Klamath in Oregon. Okay. Comely shiner. Hey, this picture's mine. Yep, comely shiner is the like rosy face, emerald shiner, silver jaw, I believe, of this area. They're cool. All of these observations are basically me. I love comelies. Adora minnow. Hey, another foxinus. Oh, this one's pretty. Oh, and it's all through the mountains here of Andorra. Well, I guess that makes sense. Foxinus bigeri. Anyone taking a pretty picture of it? You Europeans, if you live in one of these like, oh, bro, how did you not fish this up and take a picture? Look at this thing. This would have been, oh my god, this would have been the prettiest minnow to ever bless Europe, and you didn't take a good picture of it. That's an L. If you guys live in Europe, you really need to go out and net some creeks, because there's a lot of pretty shiners, and just shiners in general, that need better documentation. Umpqua pike minnow. Umpqua being the southern Oregon place that I did plan a trip to go there at some point, but it didn't end up going, because I was going to go for Umpqua and speckled dace. This is another one of the Bichochelius umpqui. Alright, flame chub. Hey, I caught a flame chub the other day. Yep, that's my picture. That's also my picture. I caught 2 flame chubs, and then my friend also took pictures of the same flame chubs. They're reasonably pretty. Mostly in this, like, south central Tennessee area. Mirror shiner. That's a fun one. I believe... Did I catch this one when I was in Gatlinburg? No, I did not. I don't think. It was in the area, but I don't think I ended up getting it. Nitropus spectronculus. Silver stripe. Tropus stilbius. Atlanta. Well, I guess just Birmingham in general. Oh, this is one of the ones I was looking out for. This is the comely guy, right? Yeah. This is one of those, like, this will probably be its own genus eventually with comely and rosy face and such. South Urinnace. Well, we did see a nace already. Protochondrostoma genia. Nice. Another northern Italy. Dude, I'm telling you, northern Italy is gas. There's a lot of cool, like, unique shiners there that aren't elsewhere. I think maybe if I do a trip, I'm going to go, like, to Zurich and get all of the minnows in this area, and then literally just take a cab through the mountains, get all the minnows in North Italy, and then probably fly out from, like, Milan or something. Red-eye chub, Pteronotropus harperi. This was a regular Notropus at one point, wasn't it? Oh, wow. But it looks so Pteronotropus-y. Chiselmouth. Gila. Oh, another Gila. This one's called Chiselmouth. Interesting. Rather than a desert whatever. Oh, but this one's a north one. Okay, Gila spans more of the west than I thought it did as a genus. I thought Gila was more restricted to this, like, deserty southern area. But it's fairly wide spread. Wedge spot shiner. Nitropus greenie. I don't think I got this, even though I was in the area, I guess, around South St. Louis. I probably put this on a list at some point, because I went into Mark Twain National Forest. But I didn't get it. Nitropus greeneye. Flagfin shiner, another pretty Pteronotropus. Pteronotropus signipinus. Not to be confused with Lutropinus. Oh my god, bro. Get a photo tank. Bro, seriously? Homie put it in a vial. That would be such a pretty photo if you had a photo tank. God, more people need to order from AVNJ Microfishing on Etsy. Utah chub, another Gila. Fish vial. It's so cursed to take a picture of a fish in a vial. Mostly Utah, but it goes up into Idaho and Wyoming a bit. That is Gila atraria. Mississippi silver minnow. Ah, I love silvery minnows. Abonathus nucalis. Oh wow, they're fairly widespread. This is most of the silvery minnows are pretty widespread. The problem just being that they're in the most odd habitats. Hey, that's a pretty good picture. Honestly, silvery minnows are hard to photograph. That's probably one of the best pictures. Western speckled dace. Hey, here's another new species from this year. The split of the speckled dace in certain areas of California. Lemethensis. Zope. Gotta be European. Yep, I love zope. Sacramento blackfish. Well, this is not the true blackfish, though I do love true blackfish. This is a weird fish. What an odd looking fish. What is this, man? Orthodon microlepidotus. Are we sure this is a minnow? We're sure this isn't. This looks like it should be a cyprinid. It should be a type of carp. This is an odd looking one. It's a new genus, Orthodon. It looks like a carp. It's a big minnow. Russian spearlin. Oh, that's cool. Albernoides rossicus. Cool. Russian. Oh, I cannot wait. I don't know if I've told you guys my master plan. If you've ever heard of the Cross-Siberian Railroad, it's basically a train that goes all the way across Russia. I believe it has stops. Hopefully it has stops. Otherwise, my entire plan falls apart. But I'm just going to like stop and spend a day in random small towns and catch local fish. Pinewood shiner, Lythururus matunis. That's mostly North Carolina. I had to have caught this thing, right? Because I went fishing right around that area. Lythururus matunitus. Big mouth chub. Another Nokomis. Is that the rarest Nokomis? It might be. Oh, wait, no, there's a more restricted Nokomis. I targeted this one, I think, but I don't think I got it. Nokomis platyrhynchus. What is platyrhynchus? Why do I know that? Shoal chub, and the best photo they have on it has black spot disease. Oh wait, never mind, that's just its coloration. It just looks like that. Oh, it's another Macrohybopsis. What else was Macrohybopsis? The silvery minnow? Or silver minnow? I didn't know there was another Macrohybopsis. Interesting. Japanese dace? What is this? Wait, that picture was sick. Yo! Sick! Pseudaspius haconensis. Cool. That is a cool ass minnow. Holy shit. That's a cool minnow. Is it mostly in Japan? It's in just Japan and South Korea. That is a cool minnow. I've never seen like that red contrasted by that white, and the red is so clean, and it's such a large minnow. Wow, that is a cool minnow. That's a really cool one. Might have to go to Japan one day. Monacial round nose minnow. Ah, South Texas / Mexico. Makes sense. Dionda. Is this our first Dionda? Dionda's like a mostly Mexican genus, I think. Argentosa. Blotch chub. I caught one of those. Actually, I caught a couple of those the other day. Hey, look. Here's my picture of a blotch chub. Oh, wait. This is not my picture. This is my picture. Blotch chub. Aramyst axon cygnus. Dusky shiner. Dusky is like the iron color of the South. Well, it overlaps, I think, with iron color, but it's just a slightly different looking one. Dude, my neck hurts. All right, Notropus cummingsi. Kusa shiner. I think I got one of those the other day. Notropus zynocephalus. Yeah. Kusa shiner. Oh, Prosperine proserpine shiner. I've never heard of this. Cyprinella proserpina. What was the Japanese minnow's name? Japanese dace. Pseudaspius haconensis. Oh, wow, this is a very range. Wow, there's a Cyprinella that's basically restricted to this. Like, there's no water here, bro. This is a desert. What? Oh, there's a creek in here that oh my god, Independence Creek. And this thing's basically restricted, this Cyprinella, to this one creek. Wow, it's quite interesting looking. What a weird looking Cyprinella. Look at its face. Wow, it's definitely a Cyprinella, but that's an odd one. Sonora chub, another Gila. Wow, Gila really has a lot of fish in it. And this one is literally, oh my god, it's only in the South Arizona right along the Mexican border. Eladitina. Longjaw minnow. Tropus amplumata. Cool. A ring around Alabama. Blunt face shiner. I think I got that one the other day. Yes, I did get a blunt face shiner the other day. It was the only one in that drainage in northwest Tennessee. Cyprinella chimera. Doro nace. Hey, another nace. But this is pseudochondrostoma. Was the other one pseudochondrostoma? I don't think it was. And it's another Portuguese one. Cool. It was something chondrostoma. It was like prochondrostoma or something. Baikal dace. Is this limited to Lake Baikal? Leucissus baicalensis? That would be cool. It's not limited to Lake Baikal. But it's in the area of Lake Baikal. That'd be another thing. Go swimming in Lake Baikal. Stream doesn't end until I touch the bottom of Lake Baikal. Tie 2 rocks to each of my ankles. Another nace. Pseudochondrostoma polylepid. Another Portuguese one. Nace seems to be like a Portuguese/Spanish thing. Black sea chub. Oh, wait, like in the Black Sea. Petroleucissus. Borsynthicus. That looks like golden shiner. I'm gonna need to do a lot of studying on European minnows if I ever plan to travel there. Oh, this is a cool one. Gravel chub. This is the only fish I know of that has a dash in the Latin name. It's Aramistax X-punctatus. Punctatus. Gravel chub. I think, did I catch one of these? But once again, a fish that I think I remember catching, I have no evidence of doing so. But look, it's in there. I don't know. Ghost shiner, Notropus buchanani. That is a small little, like, indescriptive Notropus. I guess its description is that it's indescript. Terran, Rutulus. Okay, that's a pretty limited range, honestly. It's just another Black Sea, but it's like a Black Sea Rutulus. Southern Iberian chub, another Squaleus. It's been a while, Pyrenicus. But this is a Squaleus that's mostly limited to Portugal and Spain. The other ones were not. Notropus, Pugnose, Notropus anagenus. I want this one. I think my friend Mark caught one of these. Oh, this is a fun one to target. It's like out way in the open, so you have to like rent a kayak and then swim out into, or kayak out into the bay a bit to like big patches of vegetation. See, like all the way out here. But they're there. Saltillo chub, Gila modesta. Whoa! Talk about a limited range. Seriously? This chub's entire range is this little bend of a river in Mexico. I'm like approaching-ish halfway, little elf. I'm not at halfway. I'm probably at like 40%. Plains minnow. Hey, I didn't know about that. There's another Hibonathus. Hibog. It's like a Texan, Oklahoman Hibog. Oh, wow. It's around Kansas City, too. Well, I'm sad I never caught that. Well, that's probably because it's in the Missouri River. Placitus. Cherryfin shiner. Lythurus rosipinus. That is pretty centralized to Mississippi. Sometimes I wonder how some fish are still here with small ranges. They probably won't be long term. But now imagine how many fish had small ranges like that and went extinct before we started properly documenting fish. Sad to think about. There's probably a couple hundred extra species of minnow that just went extinct. This is an interesting one. Ripple minnow. I think we targeted this in Alabama, but we did not get it. It's another one of the Phenacobius. Phenacobius catastomus, right, because it looks like a white sucker. Maritza chub. It's interesting. Squaleus. Maritza chub. This is... oh, wow. That's interesting. It's like a Black Sea, or not a Black Sea, like a southern Bulgaria / Macedonia. Interesting. Wait, it's a freshwater fish that's found... oh my god, look at this. It's found on this island. This Greek island that has a freshwater stream going through the center of it. It's found in there. That's crazy. Rhinocyprus. Why do I know Rhino? We've seen this we've seen two Rhinocyprus. Where were they? I can't remember. Steindadkneri. Oh, that's right. The Rhinocyprus was the Chinese minnow and the lake minnow. The big one was the lake... or no, wait. That was a different one. But cool. Japanese minnow. Asian minnows are cool. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of diversity, or maybe we haven't found much of that yet, but it's pretty cool that there's minnows in Japan. Ozark chub. Aramistax harpier. Oh, maybe this is the one that I caught. Is it this one? I thought I caught gravel chub, but it was Ozark chub. No, maybe not. Maybe I've just never caught an Aramistax before, and I thought I would. How does a freshwater fish get to a body of water on an island in the middle of an ocean? Well, the island was not always attached, or the island was not always separated. Islands drift over time. So at one point, it was probably connected. And thus, they were able to colonize it however many million years, 100,000 years ago. And as the island separated, they just stayed on the island. Greenhead Shiner. Wow, this one really needs a photo upgrade. You'll notice the photos get worse and worse as we go down the list. Yeah, this is one I targeted North Carolina. I don't remember if I caught it or not. Chlorocephalus. Makes sense. Chlora means green, right? And cephalus means head, so... Island Shiner. Entropus microteryx. Kentucky, Tennessee. Oh, this one was in Gatlinburg. I really didn't catch this one when I was in Gatlinburg. That would have been, what, September 2022? No, I guess I never caught one. Interesting. Sandhills Chub. Oh yeah, I know this one. This is like the super restricted range Somodilus. It's just in this one area. I actually went to the Sandhill area specifically for this. I went to one of these areas here, but it was swampy. Like, it looks like it's like a nice flowing creek, but it was like a swamp. So I wasn't able to find one because it doesn't really seem like creek chub habitat. Another Gila, the Rio Grande chub. I'm guessing this is like a South Texas. Oh, why is it called the... Okay, whatever. Bad naming system. New Mexico area. Cool. Tamaulipas. Tamaulipas. Is this the one of the Entropus that's in... Oh. Okay. Well, thank you, Tubby Tubs. Alright, I guess I'll pick my 25 shiners to relearn. 24, 25. Alrighty. Ozark Chub. Mostly restricted to the Ozarks, North Tennessee. Aramystax Harry. Bro! So I'll relearn another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Gila Modesta. This is the one that's super range restricted to one little section of a river in Mexico. Okay. 24, 25. Oh my god, look at my tabs. My computer fans started going faster, you fucks. Okay. The only I know it has national name is okay. Missouri group, Black Sea Chub, Black Sea Mixed Russia, cool. Aramystax Insignis, Mixed Tennessee, Austin, Chub, Shoal Chubs, the other Microsoft, and Silver is found in weird diagonal Texas, 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 Second Blackish, unsurprisingly located in area. Worth the long coastal part of this now. Wish Shiner, Missouri, North Arkansas, Georgia, me, Black Shiner, and Handle Surface, one Handle Surface, Insignis. Alright. I have caught up with the ones that I owed from subs. Now, where was I? I was on the Tamaulipas Shiner. Tamaulipas Shiner is pretty range restricted. Look at that, right along sort of the Rio Grande there, right along the border. Actually, is that still the Rio Grande there? Oh, it is, yeah. Right along the border there of Mexico and the United States. It's pretty Nitropus. Well, that one's pretty fat. Interesting. One of the Mexican Nitropus. Sacramento Splittail. Poganichthes. Oh, that's interesting. The whole, like, North American minnows are Poganichtheni. So, yeah, it's clearly named similarly. And unsurprisingly, the Sacramento Splittail is, like, around Sacramento. There's a lot of stuff named after Sacramento. Mopades. This is a Gila. Cool. A Gila that's very restricted right outside of Las Vegas. Well, if you ever go to Las Vegas and you're bored, there's a dace that's pretty restricted to one little area nearby. Red-tailed chub. Oh, this is the rarest Nokomis, I believe. But I got this one the other day. Or no, it's not the rarest Nokomis, but I did get this one the other day. In Tennessee. Yeah, there's my red-tailed chub. Nokomis abusus. Orangefin Shiner, Nitropus amophilus. Alabama one. Okay, South Alabama. Fair enough. Stargazing minnow. Another Phenacobius. Don't have this one, but it's a pretty Phenacobius. I think I tried for this one at some point or another when I was in Tennessee, but I did not get it. Guadalupe round-nosed minnow. Another Deonda. Interesting. A Deonda that's mostly in central Texas, I guess. Yeah, Deonda Club. Pacific redfin. This is the Japanese one. Probably. Pseudoaspius, yeah. Pseudoaspius seems to be a Japanese one. This is another very pretty one. Wow, this entire genus is really pretty. This looks almost identical to the other one. It's gotta be a cool fish to fish for. I swear, you see people pull up this type of thing in anime, and you're like, oh yeah, okay. Wow, look at how beautiful the scales are and the coloration on the scales. That is a gorgeous fish. Makes me want to go to Japan, even though there haven't been very many minnows. Bermahuela, Achondrostoma, so it's Europe. Mostly a Spanish. Has a more desert-adapted minnow, it looks like, because it's all around in the desert. Rosy-faced chub. Another Hybopsis. Hybopsis rubrifrons. Where is this one? Oh, Atlanta to South Carolina. Allegheny Pearl Dace. And look, that's my photo. Woohoo, Allegheny Pearl Dace. I observed this. Let's go, Allegheny Pearl Dace. I observed that one too. Rediscovered in New Jersey. New River Shiner. Natropus scabriceps. Hey, I observed this one once upon a time. Hey, look, yeah, there's my New River Shiner. It's just a weird-looking shiner that's in the New River Basin. That's basically it. Vardar chub, another squalius. Where's this one? Ooh, a squalius that's mostly in Greece. That's interesting. Another range-restricted squalius. Squalius vardarensis. Makes sense. A Amur minnow. Hey, another Asian minnow. Ooh, this one's like mostly in China and Russia. Cool. Rhinocyprus lagowski. It's cool. I like it. I'm a fan. That guy's holding it weird, but look at that environment. It's so damn flat. That's crazy. It's just like a creek in the middle of just a plains desert. We don't even have that type of environment here. Volga undermouth, an actual chondrostoma. Chondrostoma variabla. Pretty nice. And it seems to be basically a Russian endemic. Maybe it goes into Kazakhstan a little bit, but mostly a Russian endemic. Pallid shiner, another Hybopsis. Hybopsis amnis. This one has a decent range for how few observations it has. Mostly throughout Texas. Virgin River spine dace. Jesus. Lepidometa? What is this? It's a Texas, or... Wow, really? This is its own genus and it's in Utah? In South Utah? Wow, in this little, the area of this river here. That's cool. Own genus, too. Pretty shiner. They really went all out with that name. Lythruris bellus. I think I came across the range for this, but didn't end up catching it. Pretty shiner. Hyphen shiner. I believe I caught that one in North Carolina. Yep. Yep, caught some hyphens. A couple hyphens in North Carolina. I caught a lot, actually. Altipinus. I don't know what pinus means, but I'm coming across that a lot. Ebro chub, a squalius. Where's this one at? A squalius mostly restricted to the Andorra Mountains. See, that's pretty cool. Squalius and the Foxinus both seem to have very specific... There's like one that's everywhere, and then they have individual species for separate areas, which is quite cool. Spotted minnow, a Deonda. I remember Deonda being like a... Yes. Oh, this one's like a Mexican only. Spotted minnow. Round nose minnow. Didn't we come across the Guadalupe round nose minnow, which was also a Deonda? This is a different round nose minnow, not the Guadalupe one, but also with a very vertical range here. Squalius orientalis. Interesting. Oh, wow. What a restricted range. Just in the mountains here along Georgia. Rhodes minnow. That's a new genus. Ladigocyprus gigi. Oh my god, is it restricted to... It's restricted to one island in Greece? Or no, Turkey. An island off the coast of Turkey, this freshwater fish only exists on one island off the coast of Turkey. Ladigocyprus gigi. That is cool. Blue shiner, Cyprinella caerulea. It's a rare one in the mountains there. Greenfin shiner, Cyprinella chloristia. Makes sense. Seems when green is mentioned. Are the Foxinus genus minnows? Yes, they are. We've come across quite a few of them. We've gone through like 5 so far. I think there's even more. Couple green fins, North Carolina. Whitemouth shiner. This is in North Carolina, I believe. This is my reason for going to North Carolina, was to catch a whitemouth. And I believe I did. Yeah, I did catch a whitemouth while I was there. Caught a couple, actually. You keep forgetting things. Bro, imagine how I feel. Think about how many minnows I'm learning right now. Ugh. All right, channel shiner. Natropus wickliffi. Mostly a rust belt type of thing. Wickliffi. Channel shiner. Epuros riffledace. Well, this is a Talistes, so it's Europe. I'm starting to learn the genera, which is good. Oh, this is a Greek one. That's interesting. A Greek riffledace. Cool. Borax lake chub. Oh my god. It's another genus that's completely on its own in a single hot spring lake in what? Utah? In Oregon? Holy crap. The West has some interesting fish, dude. The West's fish are like a lot less abundant, and you couldn't go to like an individual creek on the west coast of the United States and get like a bunch of new species, but if you're willing to like drive an hour between spots, you can get stuff that's only in like individual pools. Loach minnow. Tiaroga. This is a Mexican one, right? Oh no, it's just a very range restricted New Mexico and Arizona. This is the cool one. This is one of the ones I want to catch eventually. Yeah, look at this fish. It's a really cool one. I saw this picture once and decided that I wanted to catch it. Really cool. Bluefin stone roller. Oh, there's another stone roller? I didn't even know that. Campostoma pauseridi. Oh, and it's mostly in the Atlanta area, and I never caught it. Italian nace. Hey, is there finally a nace in Italy? Woohoo! Oh, and on Sardinia. High-back chub. Hybopsis hypsinotus. Just a tall-backed hybopsis. Oh, I thought I caught this one in North Carolina, but it might just be a stone roller. Yeah, it's just a stone roller. Ah, well, no one's corrected me thus far. Spike dace. Meta fulgida. That southern Arizona, southern New Mexico area seems to have a couple ones. Has like a couple pretty cool range restricted ones. Spike dace is pretty cool. That is not a spike dace. That is a... No. Who identified this as a spike dace? This is an alosa of some sort. Or a menhaden or something. That is not a spike dace in any universe. Goddamn. Sabine Shiner, Natropus sabini. That's a cool one. Pretty range restricted. Yeah. It's a very odd range, but range restricted. Pigo, Retilis pigus. Where is this? Just right along the Alps, the southern side of the Alps. Okay, Retilis pigus. Foxinus. Oh, here's another cool Foxinus. Foxinus umonensis. Oh, and this one's... Wow, look at how far away it is from the rest of the Foxinus. It's only through Novosibirsk. Just through the mountain ranges there in Kemerava and Tomsk. Oh my god. That's a cool one. I really want to... Wow. When I travel through Russia, that's one of the ones I'm targeting. That's a cool one. Mexican stone roller. Oh, there's a Mexican stone roller. Campostoma ornatum. North Mexican. Comes into America a little bit. Tallapoosa Shiner. I think I got this one the other day. Or no, wait. I didn't get the Shiner, did I? I got the Tallapoosa Darter and the Tallapoosa Sculpin. Not the Shiner. But I know where Tallapoosa is. In this, like, Alabama area. Eastern Alabama. Oregon Chub. I'm gonna get... Oh, yeah. Oregonichthes. There's a cool new genus. Mostly limited to, yeah, one little part in Oregon. Sort of above Umpqua. Oregonichthes Creamery. Interesting. No one's taken a photo tank picture.
7 by 3.99 equals 27.93. What a waste, TBH.
I don't know what that means, but okay. I never knew there were so many minnows. Oh my god, there's so many minnows, dude. And if I'm going to be the minnow king, I have to know these all. I've never heard of half of these, so... This is truly cementing my status as the minnow king. I'm learning all these fucking minnows. Alright, Trans-Caucasian Spearlin, and it's an Albernoides. Wait, Spearlin was a Russian thing, wasn't it? What is... Oh my god, it's only along the southern mountains around Krasnodar? That's crazy. It goes through Sochi, if you went to the Olympics. Or wait, were the Olympics in Sochi? Something was in Sochi. I thought, yeah, the Olympics were in Sochi, weren't they, at some point or another? Am I crazy? What am I thinking of? Something was in Sochi at some point or another. These people never catch their fish. It's always like above water pictures. Plateau Shiner, Cyprinella lepida. This looks a lot like that other range-restricted one that was in, like, Texas. And it's another range-restricted Cyprinella in Texas. Okay. Noises roundhouse minnow, round-nosed minnow. There's a couple of these round-nosed minnows, and they're quite range-restricted. Wow. Texas is so interesting. Portuguese arched-mouth nace, and we've got a new chondrostoma. Iberochondrostoma lustinacum. Okay. And it's basically just around the Lisbon area in Portugal. Fatlip minnow, Phenocobius. Mostly restricted. Oh, wow. Mostly restricted to the mountains here. Cool. I love Phenocobius. Blue nose shiner, the prettiest Pteronotropus in my opinion. This guy is the prettiest Pteronotropus by far. It's so weird. Look at the blue on the face. Such an odd-looking shiner. Pteronotropus willaca. Leopard dace, another Rhinichthes falcatus. Where's leopard dace? Leopard dace is up British Columbia / Idaho. It's an interesting range. Ozark shiner. I believe I have this one. Do I have this one? No, I don't. Oh, wait, right. I never really explored the Ozarks too much. I got Ozark minnow, but that's because it has a wider range. Tropus Ozarcanus. Ooh, another Rhinocyprus. Rhinocyprus, Joyi, another Asian minnow. You thought there was only one shiner? Oh boy. You'd be in for a surprise. So this one's only in Japan. That's fat. It's like chubby. Interesting. Cool. South Caspian Spearlin. Another Spearlin. Spearlin are quite cool. I like them. And they're exactly as described. South Caspian Sea here in Azerbaijan, Armenia, Georgia. How many of these have you caught? It's a good question. Let's find out. I've never been outside of the United States for him. I've caught 80. So out of the 460 or whatever, I've caught 80 of them. Italian bleak. Hey, another Alburnus. Italian Alburnus, I'm guessing. Oh, wow, it's like a south. This is the first, like, true South Italy. I would love to catch every minnow species, but that's quite the task. I'm focusing on catching all the ones in America first. There's still a lot. Popeye Shiner, Burrhead Shiner. There aren't any Australian minnows, unfortunately. Not true minnows, at least. I don't think there's really any minnows in the southern hemisphere, true minnows. Australia has some cool small fish, but not true minnows. Well, this is an interesting one, Popeye. I think I targeted this the other day, but I kept catching telescope instead of Popeye. Burrhead Shiner. When did I... Oh, I caught this one recently. Oh, we caught this one. Oh, right. This is the cool looking... Yeah, I caught this one. Burrhead Shiner. Asperifrons. Bedrock Shiner. I just caught this one, too. Natropus rupestris. These are my pictures. The Bedrock Shiner. Honestly, a pretty decent picture. All things considered, that's probably the best picture you'll get of that thing. What is a sweep? Have I found another chondrostoma? Parachondrostoma toxostoma? Wow, and it's range restricted to that little area. Maybe I need to make a trip. Okay, so I need to make a trip to Portugal/Spain border. I need to make a trip to the Andorra Mountains, the area in between the Andorra Mountains and the Alps, right above the Alps and right below the Alps. Turns out I have a lot of touring of Europe to do. Maybe I should just be one of those people who goes and hikes the Alps, takes like a life break to go hike the Alps. Mimic X-Channel Shiner, that's a hybrid, so I don't care. Tongue-tied minnow, Exoglossum lori. This one's pretty unobserved, but yeah, it has a decent range. It's just right outside the cutlet minnow range. Oh, another Foxinus. Foxinus colchicus. Oh my god, and this one's also restricted to the Sochi area. Maybe I need to go to Sochi as well. Maybe when I do my tour through Russia, that's a separate part I could go to. Colorado pike minnow. I'm guessing this is one of the Phyctochilus pike minnows, and it's mostly in Colorado, but it's also in Arizona. Coosa chub. Oh, there's a Macrohybopsis. Is it endemic to the Coosa area? Pretty much, yeah. That's interesting. I did not catch this one. What in the balls is that? Tropedophoxinellus calensis. And it's restricted to North Africa? It doesn't even exist in Europe. This is an African one. Holy crap. That's the first African minnow we've come across. Tropedophoxinellus calensis. What an absurd name, by the way. Great Latin you've got there. Santee chub. Ooh, what? This is a Cyprinella? No, I don't believe you. I mean, it has diamond. It clearly comes from a Cyprinella, but that should be its own genus at this point. Cyprinella zanema. Wait, where is that one? There was a minnow earlier that was in Tunisia, but it wasn't exclusively African. That was the first exclusively African. Mountain Shiner, Lythurus, in the Tennessee area, cool. Pale Zone Shiner, Natropus albizonatus, I believe. Mountains there, cool. Lowland Shiner, it's another pretty Pteronotropius. South Carolina specifically. Cactus Roach, that's a dope name. I'm guessing it's in the deserts. Oh, it's not. It's actually in Hungary. This is one of the fish I would have targeted if I had gone to Hungary, but now I'm thinking that Hungary is not the best place to go for European fish. Toscana Stream Chub, a Squaleus. Is this a range-restricted Squaleus? Yep. Central Italy. Peloponnese Chub. Makes sense in the Peloponnese in South Greece. Peloponnesian Wars. I remember those. I learned about that in history class. Ooh, another Foxinus dragarum. Mostly restricted to... Oh, this same area. Oh, so I can get 2 species of Foxinus in this little area here. Interesting. Fat minnow. An Asian minnow called a fat minnow. It's not that fat. Kind of just looks like a red-bellied dace. It looks like it belongs in Chrysomus, and it's basically restricted to South Korea. Okmulgee Shiner. Another Cyprinella. It's mostly in Georgia.
Poggers.
Look at this guy. Aw, thank you. 23 thin 59. You make me have to relearn 5 fish, but look at the picture on this fish. He's so pretty. Wait. Look at how pretty this fish gets, my god. Alright. I'm just gonna relearn. Just gonna rehammer these guys into my head, to be honest. right, Virgin River chub. Didn't we saw a Virgin River dace or something like that earlier. Oh my god, it's another one that looks like it should be a carp. It's a gila. Clear chub. Oh, shit. Whoops. Clear chub being a hybopsis. Interesting looking hybopsis that's mostly in South Mississippi and Alabama. Okay. Silverband shiner, Natropus shumardi. This is an odd range. It's in Texas, Louisiana, and then like the St. Louis area. Interesting. Shumardi. Abronaise, Parachondrostoma. Where was the other Parachondrostoma? Wasn't that in the Balkans? Oh, no, it wasn't. No, it was here. It was the South Endor Mountains. Okay. Parachondrostoma maigi. Hamvodis chub, and it's another squaleus. Whoa, talk about a range-restricted squaleus. It's in this one lake area in Greece. Cool. Hamvodis chub. Leucissus ungaricus. I think it's the first Leucissus we've seen that doesn't have a common name. It's a Mongolian Leucissus. It's in Ulaanbaatar. Oh my god, it's a Mongolian endemic Leucissus. That's pretty sick. Danube bleak. Wow, what an odd range. South Russia, Uzbekistan, and Kyrgyzstan. Pearl mullet. That's an alburnus. We've seen a few alburnus. And it's restricted to a few lakes in Turkey. A little lake in Turkey. Blackside dace. This is a chrysomis. I wish I found this one. I was hoping to find this one when we went up in this area. But they're very restricted fish. Pretty cool though. Guadalupe round-nosed minnow. Didn't we already see a Guadalupe round-nosed minnow? Is this a different one? My god. There are two Guadalupe round-nosed minnow? Well, this one's also restricted to a random area in central Texas. Bony-tail chub. Gila elegans. Restricted to, unsurprisingly, a Utah, Colorado desert eel. Cypress minnow. Oh, that's cool. Another high bog. A very rare high bog, it would seem, in the Arkansas/Texas area. Seems to be some good diversity there. I might want to head there at some point. Leucissus daniluski. We saw a daniluski. It was Russian, yeah. So it's an endemic Leucissus to Russia. Cool. Speckled chub. At what point are we going to find a minnow in the number 4 reactor of Chernobyl? I'm pretty sure the Foxinus was in that that area of Ukraine, so. Speckled chub is the macrohybopsis. I didn't realize there were so many macrohybopsis because I've never come across one, but we've come across 5 so far, macrohybopsis. Slim minnow. Oh, here's the 4th Pimiphalis. This is the one that I need, I think, to complete the genus Pimiphalis. And I targeted it here, actually, in this, like, Lena area and didn't find it. Appalachie shiner is a Pteranotropus. Makes sense. Panhandle/South Georgia. Relict dace. Relictus solitarius. Nevada area. Cool. Another one of those range-restricted western ones. Croatian chub. This is squaleus. Wow, that's restricted to just this side of the mountains in this area in Croatia. Cool. Balsis shiner. Balsis is the Mexican Natropus. Cool. Wow, it's so south. It's all the way down by Mexico City. Interesting. Cool. Southern leathered side chub. Another Lepidamida. Pretty cool. Throughout Utah. Gualala roach. Hesperolucus. Hesperolucus was where? Yeah, California, right. For some reason I was thinking Hesperolucus, but it's because I'm thinking of Leucissus. Pseudaspius. Hey, this is another one of the pretty Japanese ones. Does this one get pretty? Or it's just no one caught a pretty one yet. Pseudaspius sacchaliensis. Alburnus leobergi. Another Alburnus that's range restricted. Range restricted to like South Russia. Cool. By Rostavandan and Krasnodar. Rio Grande silvery minnow, which is in New Mexico apparently. Maybe it's in the Rio Grande, but we haven't found it yet. This actually might be the most well-photographed silvery minnow I've ever seen. The picture's a little low quality, but that still, I think, might be the best photographed silvery minnow I've ever seen. White River spine dace, Lepidamida. Spine dace are cool. Come across a few of them. Wow, talk about a little restricted area in the West Coast. And there's so many of those, it's crazy. Red River shiner. This is a Natropus verdi, from Oklahoma, basically. High scale shiner, Natropus hypsilepus. Mostly, wow, pretty restricted to the Atlanta area. Well, now I have to worry about whether things are actually restricted or whether it's just the fact that these things have such low observations. I sorted all the minnows in terms of observation, so we started with the really commonly seen ones, and now we're getting to, like, stuff that no one ever sees. Skygazer shiner. Natropus aranoscopus. Mostly in the Alabama area. Southern straight-mouthed nace, Pseudochondrostoma wilcomi. Oh wow, that's a very southern restricted Portugal and Spanish. One of the chondrostoma. Cool. Broad striped shiner, another Pteranotropus. I'm assuming panhandle-y. Oh, wow. That's a very, very north for a... That's pretty cool for a Pteranotropus. Umatilades, the other Rhinichthes. Every time I try to remember Foxness, my brain just says Phoenix. This is impossible. Imagine my brain right now. I am just shoving. This is the equivalent of like not showing up for a class the entire year and then cramming for the final exam. You never learned anything the entire year and now you're just learning in the final exam. Honestly, this might be more information than a typical college course gives you. The amount of minnows I'm learning, I feel like might be more information than an average college course. Might be wrong though. Keep powering through. We're getting there. Dalmatian roach. Leucos basak. Mostly restricted to Cassava, Macedonia. Cool. That's a cool one. Another one of those. That's the only second Leucos I think we've come across. Achilos roach. Another Leucos. Also in the same area, I assume. Oh no, this one's down in Greece. Okay. Arid spearlin. I love spearlin. They might be one of my favorite fishes. And they're in a lake in Greece. This is actually... Is this the same lake? No, it was this lake over here that had some... another spearlin. The Sally bleak. This is an Alburnus, restricted mostly to Greece. Tennesseedes, Chrysomus tennesseeensis. Is this one endangered or something? This one's... It's in common areas where people are, but it has so few observations. It's interesting. Maybe it's just really restricted in the places that it is. Another Macrohypopsis, or head chub, in central Texas. Rocky Shiner. It's an Atropus that is mostly in Oklahoma, southern Oklahoma. Kanawha minnow. I think this was on my list of targets at one point. Yeah, because I went through the mountains here and I targeted it. I didn't think I was likely to get it. I think I got Kanawha sculpin though. Well, that's a cool one, a Phenacobius there. Oh geez, Chekanowski's minnow. And it's a Rhynchocyprus. Holy, what the fuck is this? Oh, it's a rearing tank. Well, those are not wild. And it's in the town of the town of Hehe, China. Anyways, where is this thing mostly found? Russia. Mostly Russia. Wow, look how far up in Russia this thing goes. What a range. Eastern Iberian chub. Didn't we see another Iberian chub, another Squalius? Well, this one's east. Oh yeah, we saw a southern Iberian chub, which was down here, and this is the eastern Iberian, which is way over in Spain. That's the most unique range I've seen. Bardian minnow roach. That's a crazy name. Oh, it's another one of the Trapetophoxinellus. It's on an island in Greece. Cool. Macedonian vimba. That's a new genus. Vimba in Greece and Bulgaria. Lisbon archmouthed nace. Okay, another Portuguese range restricted nace. Yep. Iberochondrostoma Alyssiopenensis. Another Leucissus wallicki. Oh, this is interesting. This is a Leucissus that's mostly Asian. Patanins altai osman Oreoleucissus. What the? And it's mostly restricted to the mountains between Russia, Mongolia, and Kazakhstan. Potanins altai osman Oreoleucissus potanini. Cool. Danubian minnow. Oh, here's the one my friend caught. It's the one my friend Mark caught. This one is mostly all the way over. Yeah, this one's right above the mountains. Look at this. This is what happens when someone who works with minnows in America goes to Europe. Look at the shit that they find. You have pretty minnows, they're just not well documented. Santa Ana speckled dace. This is another one of the splits of the black-nosed dace. Is the end in sight? I mean, we're getting there. I wouldn't say it's exactly in sight yet. Alburnus mento is a northern Alps, wow, pretty restricted, like northeastern Alps. There's no good photos of it. All the photos are underwater. Vistonus shimaja. This is another Alburnus. There's a lot of Alburnus. It's a pretty big genus. This one is restricted to just below a mountain, basically just in Nestos National Park. Harabugo, Ina cypress. This is a new genus for me. It's a South Portuguese genus. Interesting. Verdarnace, Chondrostoma verdarnace. In Greece / Bulgaria. Thick lip chub, Cyprinella labrosa. Hey, this is the furthest down I've seen a Cyprinella. It's pretty cool. Oh, and it's in North Carolina. Huh. Must just be pretty uncommon. Devil's River minnow, a Dionda. Supposedly a quite pretty one, too. It's western Texas area. Yaqui chub, line chub, blacktip shiner. Yaqui chub is right on the Mexican border here. Mexican border of, what, Arizona? It's a Gila. Makes sense, one of the fat ones. Line chub, oh, it's a rare Hypopsis that's mostly in eastern. Blacktip shiner. Oh, a Lythruerus. Hey, that's a decent photo of it, actually. From South Alabama. Damn, if I lived in like Central Alabama, I would have the craziest fish list pretty soon with all the damn fish that there are to get there. Peppered chub. Wow, another Macrohybopsis. I can't believe this was a genus I had basically never heard of until today. Now I'm finding so many, and it's in this like north section of Texas that nobody ever talks about. Albanian minnow, Pachychilon pictum. Interesting. Restricted to, what a weird range. It's got to be in between there, right? And just isn't well documented. Symphalia minnow, Pelasgus. Hey, there's a new genus, Pelasgus, and it's another Greek island. Wow, these Greek islands have a lot of range-restricted minnows. Maybe I should go there. Triconius. Oh, okay. Triconus rud, another Scardinius. So it's been a while since we've seen a Scardinius, and once again, it's restricted to some areas in the Greek islands. Tampichthes. Oh, this is one of my favorites. This is one of the shiners I really want to catch. It's a central Mexican one. Tampichthes ipni. Look at this. Look at how cool this shiner is. Oh my god, I want this shiner so bad. I really hope one day I meet someone who's from Mexico and can invite me, because holy crap, what a cool shiner. Tigris asp. It says asp, but it's not an asp. It's not a pseudoaspius, it's a leucissus. This video is just figuring out where to go on vacation. Yeah, pretty much. Oh my gosh, this one's in Syria and Iraq. That's pretty cool. This is the first one I think that we've seen that's actually like in the Middle East. The Capu shiner. Hey, I think this is a Mexican Natropus. It's like a central South Mexican Natropus. Caspian cutum. Makes sense. It's around the Caspian Sea. It's a Rutulus. Rutulus. Quattroclinigas shiner. Ooh, there's a range-restricted Cyprinella for you. It's in between these one little mountains in North Mexico. Wow, that's a wonderful photo. Someone must have went diving in the spring that it's in. Iberian archnauthed maze. Oh my god, there's so many of the Iberian nays. This is another one. This one kind of overlaps with the southern Iberian nays. Iberio, at least the Iberian ones are a separate genus and they start with Iberian, so that's easy to remember. Iberochondrostoma, that's Lemingi. Least chub, Lotichthes, hey, a new genus, or Iodichthes. This one is basically just in the Utah area. That's pretty cool though. There's no out of water photos of it. The Wichita Mountain Shiner, Lythurus, in Arkansas, in the Wichita area. Prairie chub, another Macrohybopsis. Hybopsis australis. That's the closest you'll get to an Australian shiner, is that one having the specific epithet australis. Silverside shiner, Natropus candidus. Hey, three Natropus in a row. My god, let's bang them out. Natropus candidus from central to southern Alabama. Silverside shiner. Rio Grande shiner, which for some reason is mostly in New Mexico. All this stuff named Rio Grande. I guess that's the headwaters of the Rio Grande. That's where the stuff ends up being. And then Chub shiner. Interesting. Little River County in Texas. Umpqua chub. Oh, another Oregonicthes. I did not know there was another Oregonicthes. A second Oregonicthes up in Umpqua. Anatolian giant minnow. Pseudo-Foxinus? Where this thing does not look like a Foxinus at all. What is your naming scheme? And it's exclusively in south central Turkey. Orange tail shiner. That's a pretty unobserved Pteronotropus. In South Alabama. Man, South Alabama has some crazy diversity. I might have to make a South Alabama trip at some point. Umpqua days. This is one I planned on targeting in Umpqua once upon a time. This was a trip I got very close to booking this trip like 2 years ago, or like a year and a half ago. Illyrian chub. Squalius illyricus. And it's another, it's Bosnia and Herzegovina. Interesting. Squalius platyceps. It's another one in that little South Balkan area. Another Squalius. Oh my god, 3 Squalius in a row. And it's in the same area. Interesting. 3 range-restricted Squalius, all very close to each other. Remote chub, Algansia. I feel like that's a new genus. I don't think I've seen Algansia so far. And that's because it's restricted to this one part of western central Mexico. Alright, Georgian Shamia, another Alburnus. That is restricted to, unsurprisingly, the Sochi, Georgia area. Alburnus ashirichi. And this one doesn't even have a photo, but it's in Turkey. Oreoleucissus. No, wait, we've seen one Oreoleucissus before. This was an Asian one, right? Or am I wrong? Yeah, this is the Mongolian. Oreoleucissus angustocephalus. Wow, that's a cool fish. And a great photo. Good job on the photos, Michelangelo. Ooh, a new Foxinus. Woohoo, we love Foxinus. Foxinus carsticus. Restricted to one little mountain range in Montenegro. Pseudaspius. Oh shit, oops. Pseudaspius was the Japanese one, right? Pseudaspius leptocephalus. which is odd range. Mongolia, China, northern Japan. Turianace, northern roach. Petrolucissus, western Rubico, Gaston Spearlin. All right, let's go. Turianace, Parachondrostoma makes sense. Parachondrostoma, but it's another one of the only two that I've seen so far that's restricted to that eastern part of Spain. Northern roach, Hesperlucas, that's right above the Klamath Falls area in Oregon. Petrolucissus squalusculus in, oh my gosh, Kyrgyzstan by Tajikistan. That's a cool fish. That's a unique middle of nowhere species. Western Ruvico. Makes sense. There was another Rubico that was in the Lisbon area. To Gaston Spearlin, which is right on the Caspian Sea. Makes sense. Cuban Spearlin, Alburnus Humpback Chub, Gila. Cuban Spearlin, that's pretty cool. That is in South Russia, Krasnodar area. Alburnus Sarmaticus, mostly in the Russia-Ukraine area. Humpback Chub, Gila Saifa, which is restricted to this little area. Actually, not that restricted, all things considered. Oh, it's in the Grand Canyon. It's a Gila that's mostly in the Grand Canyon. The Chihuahua Chub. I'm guessing this is a Mexican Gila. Oh no, it's just this is the actual Gila, the one that's actually in the National Forest here. Southwestern Arched Mouth Nace. Man, Europeans are not the best at naming minnows, I'll be real. But yeah, it's, oh, okay, fair enough. It is southwestern, and it probably does have an arched mouth, but I feel like it could have been more concise. Chihuahua Shiner. Oh wow, a bunch of Natropus. This is 5 Natropus in a row, my god. Chihuahua Shiner. This is a area of Chihuahua in Mexico that has a Natropus. Natropus Chihuahua, fair enough. Cape Fear Shiner. That's like a central North Carolina Shiner. I know that one, Mekistochilus. It's the only other one other than the Ozark Minnow that has a coiled black gut and eats mostly plants. Alaupin Chub, pretty South Mexican chub. Natropus parapelidus. It's a peppered shiner, and it's just in this one little area in Arkansas. Pretty cool. Blunt nose shiner. Natropus from New Mexico. That's pretty cool. And there's even a subspecies of the Pecos blunt nose shiner. All right. Brotus minnow. Pelascus. Ooh, a restricted Pteronatropus. Aurutulus and 2 Aurutuluses. Okay. Evrotus minnow. Pelascus. That's a Greek one, yeah. Yeah, the Greek islands here do seem to have a good bit of minnow diversity. Marathon minnow, also in the Greek islands. Placis marathonicus. Bluehead shiner from Arkansas. And Pteronatropus all the way out there, huh? Black sea roach. Pretty cool. South Russia. Pearl roach. Similarly related, but this one's all the way above the Alps. That little corner, there was another thing that was pretty range restricted to the Alps up here. What number are we on? I don't know, but I think I'm getting close because I'm down to everything having 2 observations. And then everything will have 1 observation, and then it'll be done. The 1 observations are within, here you go. Here's what's left. I'm getting there, chat. All right, Scardinius, Erratichub, Squalus, Abrotus chub, Squalius. Man, there's a lot of Squalius. Scardinius mostly makes sense in that Croatia, Bosnia-Herzegovina area. Scardinius, Dergly, shiner looking one, just looks like another fucking golden shiner, man. I don't know. Errate chub, wow, that's a very range restricted Scalius, but not to be confused with the South Iberian Southwestern Arched Mouth Nace, whatever the hell. Squalius C on a Greek island. Oh no, yeah, on an island off of Turkey. Wow, wait, so this island off of Turkey has a species of minnow that only lives there, and this island off of Turkey has a species of minnow that only lives there. Great picture, by the way. Thank you I love people who take great pictures of rare minnows. Evrotus chub, another Greek one. Yep, another Greek island minnow. I did not realize the Greek island had so many. I guess it makes sense because all the islands separated, right? So there's just like little bodies of fresh water that these fish have been trapped in with only each other for a while. Makes sense. I did not realize there were so many range restricted Greek minnows though. A Greek trip might be worth it to the Greek islands and just go fishing in all of them. More Tampichthys, Telistis, yellow shiner. Don't want a hybrid. Alvord chub. Tampichthys mandibularis, not quite as beautiful. That is a tortoise. That is definitely not whatever you think it is. But San Luis Potosi. Telistis montenegris. Unsurprisingly, it's in Montenegro. Yellow shiner, there's a rare one. It's central South Mexico. Alvord chub, Cephatalis. Hey, is this Cephatalis the first time we've seen this genus? It's rare to find a new genus this far. And it's all the way up in Oregon, huh? Desert chub, Mexican roundtail chub. Alburnus, Albernoides. Ooh, another Cyprinella. Interesting. Desert chub, another Gila. There are a lot more Gila than I realized. I've said that multiple times, but another East North Mexican. Mexican round-tail chub. There's another Gila in North Mexico. Oh, where is this Alburnus? Oh, a Georgian Alburnus? That's pretty cool. One of the first Georgia restricted fish we've seen. Then we've got an Albernoides over in Tajikistan. Hey, there's actually some cool fish there in Tajikistan. That's pretty cool. I didn't realize how mountainy Tajikistan was. Like, look at this shit. The entire place is mountains and lakes. I assumed it was more deserty. Slender blacktail shiner. Restricted to... Who knows if these are even real observations. Is this one real? Interesting. There's a debate as to whether that's real or not. All right, another Leucissus. Another Macrohypopsis. There's so many. Another Dionda. Rhynchocyprus. Cool. Leucissus lindberghi. Oh, wow, that's a cool range. Uzbekistan and South Kazakhstan. Gulf chub. Macrohypopsis tumulari. Chickasaw River. Where's the Chickasaw River? Just this one tiny area in Mississippi. You've got a Macrohypopsis there. Noesis round-nosed minnow. Another one of the range-restricted round-nosed minnow that's just randomly in a spot in central Texas. Rhinocyprus. Ooh, on Sakhalin, right? Yeah, on the Sakhalin Island here. Cool. I didn't know there's some Rhinocyprus and minnows restricted to Sakhalin. All right, we're down to one observation. Kinneret bream, Yarkon bream, Sarda, Prespa spirlin. We've got the Kinneret bream from Israel, huh? This is the first minnow I think we've seen in Israel. That's quite cool. That's way south in the Middle East. Wow. Yarkon bream. Oh, this one's also from Israel. Another Acanthobrama. Achondrostoma sarda. That's a pretty simple name for such an uncommon fish that is one observation in Spain. Prespa spirlin. I do love spirlin. I think spirlin are becoming Foxinus and spirlin are becoming some of my favorite. What's the biggest minnow in the world? I don't know. We've seen some pretty big ones. Alburnus hohenacari, Alburnus scoranza, Alburnus volviticus, and then a Cuban nace and a Terracnace. Where are you, Alburnus hohenacari? One little lake in Azerbaijan. Cool. Or, well, actually, I guess it's technically in Russia, but it's close. Alburnus scoranza. The long one. A long Alburnus. Where is that? Oh, in Albania. Okay. Alburnus volviticus. God, there's a lot of Alburnus. Central Macedonia. On this lake in Central Macedonia. Okay. Cuban nace. Sochi. Known from a river in Sochi. That's pretty cool. Another range-restricted Sochi. And then the Terracnace. I don't know where Grozny is. Oh, that's like in it. Oh, I do know where Grozny is. That's a town. Yeah, in South Russia. All right, Presbanace. A largemouth. Wow, Cyprinella. Beautiful shiner. Another Cyprinella. Another Cyprinella altamaha. Man, there's a lot of Cyprinella. Cyprinella liked getting themselves into weird situations, didn't they? Chondrostoma. Presbanace. Which is in a lake in Greece. Unsurprising. Largemouth shiner in Mexico. A Mexican restricted Cyprinella. The beautiful shiner. That's a cool Cyprinella. One observation on naturalist, and it's from 2005. This thing could be freaking extinct by now, and it's from the Mexican border. Altamaha shiner. Wow, this is in Georgia. It's only ever been observed once, and it was this year in Georgia. Cool. Delmonichthes. Hey, I think that's a new genus. Montenegro. Cool. There's a bunch of cool fish around there as well. Western silvery minnow. Little Colorado's river spine-dace. Sturgeon chub. Soto la Marina shiner, Ameca shiner, and more cool Natropus. Western silvery minnow. Man, that would be a cool one to find. Look at this. There's never been one photographed alive. The only Western silvery minnow photographed is from Nebraska, and it's preserved. Little Colorado River spine dace. Unsurprisingly, oh wait, it's not even in Colorado. It's in Little Colorado River, I guess, in Arizona and New Mexico. It's a great picture, though. Oh wait, never mind. It looked higher quality. Sturgeon chub, Macrohypopsis. We don't know where this one is because it's private, but it's somewhere in the United States. Soto la Marina shiner. Probably a Mexican shiner, I'm assuming. Yeah, Ciudad Victoria. South, well, I guess it's more of like a northeastern. Ameca shiner. I didn't realize how many Natropus there were. Well, giant barb are they're not true minnows. The Southeast Asian minnows are not true minnows, unfortunately. They're not in Leucicidae. So that's not exactly what we're talking about. But yes, there are giant barbs, and that they are minnow-like. Cahaba shiner. I think I targeted that one point. Natropus. Oh my god, Natropus. Not Natropus. Oh, a new genus. Pachychilon, Macedonian. Cahaba shiner, which is only in Alabama. One little area. Arkansas River shiner. And another Natropus range restricted specifically to the Arkansas River. Yazoo Shiner. I forget, this is Mississippi, right? I think I put this one on a list at some point. Yeah, central Mississippi. Roughhead Shiner from Virginia. Natropus semir asper. Ooh, asper in an American fish name is interesting. This one's actually not that far from me. New Jersey to this guy. It's only been found once. Pachichalon, a Greek one in Macedonia. Oh no, it's in Greece, but it's called the Macedonian Moronic. Thesprodian minnow, Mostar minnow, Eigen minnow, woundfin, Drusian spring minnow. All right. Thesprodian minnow, Pelascus. We've seen a few Pelascus. I wonder how these get research grade. It must just be by drainage, right? Because these pictures are not good enough for people to identify them. Dude, the islands of Greece have so many minnows. I need to plan a trip to the islands of Greece. Mostar minnow in Algeria. Foxinellus. We've seen one other or two other Foxinelluses. Pseudolepodotus. Eigen minnow. Ooh, a new Foxinus. I love Foxinus. That's a great picture of one too, from Bulgaria area, East Macedonia. Oh, everyone's debating if it's real or not. No one's... Oh, what? Someone else, I did identify it. Cool. It would be cool to be a good European fish identifier. I think I'm going to get into that, learn how to identify it. I mean, this is a good step. I'm seeing every European minnow. Woundfin. I've heard of woundfin. Is that American? Yeah, it is American. Only one observation ever. That's a weird looking shiner, dude. Okay. Drusian spring minnow. Pseudophoxinus. From the Middle East, from Lebanon, Israel. Caspian roach from South Russia. There's a couple of unique fish from this Grozny area as well. It's interesting. Greek rudd, Scardinius graicus, another one in Greece. My God, pretty range restricted. This is Romania. A range restricted red from Romania. Petsia, Scardinius, Rakovitsai. Malaga chub, a Squalinius from Spain that's really restricted. Mira chub, Squalinius, South Portugal. There's been a couple good fish in South Portugal as well. Where is this Tampictes at? Tampictes catastomops. San Luis Potosi. Biotin Ripfaldace. Central Greece. Teslices. Dude, there's so many freaking unique minnows in the islands of Greece. I never realized this. Croatian pure. Well, that's quite cool. Wow, what a great picture to be the only picture on iNaturalist of a certain fish. Great job to this person. Thank you. Telestes metohyensis from Bosnia and Herzegovina. Looks like. Restricted. Interesting. Another Telestes. Another Telestes. Eucleva. It's an interesting looking one. I'll zoom in on it, but I'm curious where it's at first. Oh, who's surprised? On the coast there. That's a pretty decent picture as well. Man, all of these fish are endangered, restricted, all this shit. All right. Tropedo, Foxinellus. Algansia, Pygmy Shiner, Natropus, Gila, another Cyprinella that's pretty range restricted, Tropidophoxinellus, another Greek restricted one, Tropidophoxinellus hellenicus, Spottail Chub and Algansia. That's so funny, we have Spottail Shiner and all that. Pygmy Shiner, Natropus tropicus. Where's the Pygmy Shiner? Let me guess, it's in Mexico because all the cool shiners are in Mexico, but I can't go to Mexico. Wow, this is a wonderful picture to be the only picture on iNaturalist of this one. I'm not even mad that there's only one observation. Great job on that picture. Mexican red shiner. In one little area in the mountain ranges, a Cyprinella. 25 to go. Ornate shiner. I'm guessing Mexico. We're getting to all the Mexican shiners now. They all seem to have one observation. It's like everyone went through and just found each fish once. Spotfin chub from Tennessee. That's a rare one. Where in Tennessee is this fish? This only has one observation. It's pretty cool. It's a very range-restricted fish. It only has one observation on iNaturalist. Oh, it must be protected somehow, probably. Another Mexican chub, the Pascario Algansia. Another Algansia. See, Algansia was like a southern United States / Mexico thing. Aztec chub. Aztecula salaya. Central Mexico. Makes sense. Jalisco chub from Mexico. And this is a new genus, Ureria. New genus of chub that I haven't seen so far near Guadalajara. This is an Asian one, right? Osman's Oreolucisis. It's like Mongolia, I think. Yeah, this one's in Western Mongolia. Oreolucisis humilis. Tigress bream, Acanthobrahma marmid. Cool. Caucasian bream, Acanthobrahma microlepis. Where? I wish it didn't zoom so much in by default. Makes it annoying. Oh, that's cool. South Armenia, Azerbaijan. That might be the only fish we've seen restricted to that area. Kolchik nace. Krasnodar, Sochi area, right outside Sochi. There's a couple cool minnows over there. Kuranace from also Georgia area. What am I looking at? Oh, they're jumping out of the water there. How did you possibly identify them from that distance? How do these... Okay, whatever. Bronze snout, a chondrostoma. The regular chondrostoma are mostly in... Oh, what the fuck? It's in Turkey? Never mind, I know nothing. Pseudophoxinus libani. Wow, cool. Lebanon and Syria. Cool, unique fish there. Another unique Squalius to Greece. Oh, another one. This one's on its own island in Greece. Oh, this is the Turkish island. Well, I guess it's a Greek island, but it's off of Turkey. So those islands there all have their own cool thing. That's pretty cool. An Iranian nace. Kind of cool. Restricted to Iran. Apalachicola blacktail shiner, which is found only in this weird, like, I don't even know what this is. Lake Lanier. I guess this is like a cool natural mountainy lake right above Atlanta. Never seen that before. Leaky roach from central Greece. Another Leucos. The Leucos have all kind of been from central Greece. Leucos ulicanensis. Albernoides thessalicus from Thessaly, which I don't know where that is, but of course it's Greece. Alburnus sava. There's so many Alburnus from Cassava. Caspian vimba from... Wow, that same little area. The same little, like, southeastern peninsula of Russia. Near Grozny has a lot of cool stuff. Tashkent riflebly. Alburnus oblongus. Uzbekistan and Kyrgyzstan. Alright, last 5 fish. Oh, actually, 3 of these are hybrids, so we only have 2 fish to go. Foxinus, Polyakawi, and Petrolucissus aspi. This is cool. Another Foxness. Man, there's so many cool Foxness. I have not been to Russia, but it's one of my dream vacations. I want to travel across Russia here, just catching all of the cool fish. Kyrgyzstan, mostly. Cool. It's crazy how much Foxness resemble Chrysomis from America. And then finally, is this another Sochi? Yep, another, well, more Krasnodar, but another Sochi fish. And that is it. After 3 hours... I have learned every minnow on planet Earth. Are we doing the quiz? I'm trying to see if it's up, yeah. The Boothy game thing. And Taxa Challenge down too. Well, sorry chat. Both Taxa Challenge and the Boothy game are down. Both of the websites that I would use to quiz myself on iNaturalist stuff. So, you're just gonna have to trust me. I know my minnows now. I will continue studying in my own time, but I feel well informed. Excuses? I would have been fine. I studied these fish damn hard, okay? I've been talking fish nonstop. My throat hurts. I've been talking fish nonstop for 3 hours. All right, that's going to be it for me. Have a good day, everyone.